very, very good. Alif Farmer played very well yesterday and they're into the finals. 7 Districts is the home team. Haider Ali is the captain from 7 Districts. We have match referee Mr. Tehseen Javed. And of course, representing Alif Farmer is Wasim Akram. And I think Haider is going to flip the coin. They are the home team. Let's do the honors, Haider. Tails is the call. Tails it is. It's gone just too far, so we have to come back on our positions. Yeah, Haider, you have won the toss. What will you decide to do?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. हम पहले बैटिंग करेंगे और there is I want to mention one thing today because as I'm a standing captain, so there is no pressure if we wanna bowl first, if we wanna bat first, because the way our captain Mohammad Haider teaching us and telling everything about like bowling or batting, so there is no pressure if we wanna bowl first or bat first.
All right, but you have to decide one thing. Whatever you decided, you're gonna bowl first, right?
No, we wanna bat first.
You wanna bat first, all right. The conditions are a little different compared to all the other days. Even the pitch looks a little different. What do you have to say about that?
Of course, pitch is looking good to bat on, so that's why we are deciding for bat first.
And how much total do you think is going to be a good total on this weekend?
Inshallah, we have a plan about batting first. So we made like 170, 180 because pitch is looking very good and boundary is so short on that area. And the way we learn from our captain the things. So inshallah we made like 180, 170 runs.
Your team has come a long way in the last year and a half, and you were prolific before the season ended, and you've started the season really, really well. Where are things going right for you? What is it that you're doing compared to other teams?
Of course, I always mention one thing. If you have a proper sport and if you have a proper things, then you have to move on. And if you have a proper, one guy, especially your captain, is behind always you. So I think there is no pressure and there is no other things. So Alhamdulillah for everything.
A lot of things that I wanted to talk to you about, but because of the paucity of time, we'll have to take your leave here. Thank you so much, Haider. Wish you all the very best for today's game.
Thank you.
वसीम, बैटिंग कर रही है 7 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, क्या ख्याल है आपको? भी मुझे लगता है यही करना था, बैटिंग.
हाँ, बस हमारा भी प्लानिंग था कि हम पहले बैटिंग करेंगे, लेकिन आज ड्यू नहीं है, हवा चल रही है, तो इंशाल्लाह हमारे लिए पहले बॉलिंग बेस्ट होगी. और हमारा ये प्लानिंग रहेगा कि हम उसको 130 तक रोकें. तो माशाल्लाह हमारी बैटिंग लाइन आजकल अच्छी चल रही है, तो इंशाल्लाह हम चेस करेंगे.
कॉन्फिडेंस कैसा है टीम में, क्योंकि कल एक बड़ा मैच जीत कर आप बिल्कुल बाहर हो रहे थे और फिर जीत कर 180 बनाकर आए?
माशाल्लाह आजकल हमारे लड़के बहुत अच्छे खेल रहे हैं, बैटिंग लाइन भी अच्छी है, बॉलिंग भी अच्छी है, तो टीम में एक कॉम्बिनेशन अच्छा बन गया है. तो इंशाल्लाह कोशिश ये रहेगी कि आज जीत जाए.
एज अ बॉलर आपको दिक्कत हो रही थी छोटे स्पाइक्स की वजह से, आज लंबे स्पाइक्स पहने?
हाँ, आज स्पाइक्स चेंज किए क्योंकि नील्स छोटे थे थोड़े, तो ऑब्वियस लग रहा था ड्यू ज़्यादा थी. इंशाल्लाह आज बेहतर होगा.
Alright, wish you all the very best, yeah. Thank you. Well, the news from the middle is that 7 districts have won the toss and they have decided to bat first in this first semi-final.
Thank you, Vezan. So the 7 districts have won the toss and they have decided to bat first. As we look at the lineup, all-rounder Abdul Ghaffar, Haider Ali leading the team, Almas, Nasir, Rais, Arshad, Kashif, Muhammad, Syed, Haider, Shah and Avas, the all-rounder. They've won the toss and decided to bat first. It's the big game. It's the first semi-final. Up against Wasim Akram, looking to charge. Little bit of pad and ricochet onto the stumps. That's a great breakthrough for Alif Farmer. And the plan to give another over to Wasim Akram worked wonders for Alif Farmer.
Yes, definitely. He's a wicket taker. Look at that. In the 5th over, 7 districts, 33 for 1 after 4.4. Mohammad Irfan, who had a pretty decent tournament until that last ball where the law of averages came in. And that brings Syed, Haider, Shah in the middle, a talented batsman, a talented youngster. A youngster to watch out for. It's a big occasion to perform for him. It's semi-final number 1. Look at that delivery to Irfan, this time coming back in and he yorked him. That's ricocheted off the bat. crashed into the stump.
Syed Haider facing his first delivery. Nicely played. Excellent running as well. Well, Syed Haider is one of the bright talents in UAE. Been around for a long time. Quality player. Playing recently in the middle order, but since he's moved into 7 districts, they're looking at him in the top order. He's a quality batsman.
Tons of runs in the domestic circuit. And in this particular
Race, both good runners between the wicket. That's imperative to rotate strike on good deliveries.
yeah, absolutely. And they're always looking to get that single. You wouldn't see many dot balls coming in from both of them. They're very busy players always. The last over of the power play coming up. 7 districts would be looking to capitalize on this one. They've lost just a wicket in this. If they can manage somewhere around 43, 44, 45 runs, they would be happy. Meanwhile, a good ball from Abu Bakr, just rising from the good length area. Very well played there by Haider Shah. So he's quickly moved on to 2 of just 2 balls without wasting any deliveries. He's brought the informed batsman Rais Ahmed to face the last 4 deliveries of this power play.
Has almost raised, chipped it to the man, the tall man, Irfan Sajid at mid wicket.
The last 2 deliveries of the power play. This time a shorter one, but with the fine leg boundary up, it was always going to go for a boundary. Good intention there from Haider Shah. He spotted that length pretty early, wanted to go and test that fielder on the square leg boundary. Lucky escape for him. Top edge, gone well over that short fine leg fielder.
Well, he tried to bounce him out. The direction was good, the height was good. The top edge, fine leg up in the circle. Let's race away for a boundary. Fortunate boundary for Syed Haider. The bowler will have a moral victory. He's done him for the pace and the bounce.
Absolutely, any farmer might be finding themselves pretty unlucky that it's the 3rd boundary off the edge. This one with given, and what a shot there from Haider Shah. They end this power play on a high. It's 46 for 1 after 6.
Bowling close to the stumps, and Bale scores ricochet off his hand. That sometimes can hurt your hand as well at that.
Yeah, I'm sure it must have hurt him. But a freebie coming in there for Haider Shah, who's already looked good off his 4 deliveries. This time served right under the bat, though he can only manage to hit it towards that long off area. Got it off the 2 end of the bat. Shorter delivery this time on the up. Play towards the deep cover area. Good throw must have had him there. Good running in the end by these 2. I told you they are always looking busy on the crease. With these 1 and 2 runs, that actually upsets the fielding team.
Yeah, and that middle period running between the wicket is really, really important, and certainly they are putting a lot of pressure on the fielders in the deep. Wasim Akram to the longer part of that boundary on that extra cover backward point area. So there was great piece of running.
I think Wasim Akram on that long boundary has to come a couple of steps. This time played towards that long on area. And it's Shamsu does the cleanup. Haider Shah picks up a single for himself, moves on to the other side. It's 53 for 1.
Why his foot was slipping while he was trying to bowl. It was that wet. And Bilal was complaining about the seam of the ball getting so wet that it was difficult to control. And he tried a couple of slow balls that turned out to be beamers. So today, no such problems I can see with bowlers. Oh, that's certainly a couple of runs saved by the stumps there.
Well, that was drilled hard. It's fascinating listening to Fazan. What you make of the track? We will come back to this one. Bull and driven so hard that could have gone for a boundary certainly. Looking at the pitch, you were down there in your pitch report. From the yesterday, there was a little bit of moisture. So today, whole day sun baking it down. What you think has gone a little harder?
Yeah, I think they've watered the surface just a little bit. I think maybe in the morning before the sun came up or somewhere around that time. So I think it was a little soft, but not soft enough to trouble the batters from the same end. Continuing here, he's given away 11 runs in the first over that he bowled. This is a decent total here for the 7 districts, mind you. They were thinking of somewhere around 160, 170, which certainly is going to be a very challenging total on this wicket. It might have eased out a little bit, this wicket, but certainly is a challenging wicket to bat on. This is nicely played, eventually well negotiated in the end by Syed Haider Shah. He's been out of cricket in the recent times because of an injury to his hand. So he needs to be careful there. It was very close to hitting him on the hand. Talking about Rais Ahmed.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. As you pointed out, plays the ball late under his eyes. And also, he's one of the best players when it comes to using the pace of the fast bowlers and even the spinners. So he's a complete batsman. The people who try to hit the ball too hard on a specially surface like this, they have struggled big time.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Losing your shape on this wicket won't help your cause. In fact, I think it's nicely bowled. Some extra bounce there. You're better off playing horizontal bat shots, and Rais can do that to you, and that is the reason why he's been very successful in this tournament. The leading run getter overthrows. Rais wants to go for 2. Doesn't do that. Well done.
That makes it even more important for a bowler.
Decent last over, tripped in the air, first up, nicely played by Syed Haider Shah, and good running between the wickets. Brilliant running between the wickets. 2 young men on the crease, and I can tell you this: you might look at Rais and you might think, maybe he's not very fit. He's a very quick runner between the wickets. He's pretty fit, I can tell you this. There's a difference, Asghar, between as we look at that second run once again. Very nicely run. Very nicely run. There's a difference between match fitness and being fitter in the public's perception. I think Rais Ahmed is match fit.
Absolutely. This time using the feet and clearing the long off fielder for a 6. This is wonderful stuff coming in from Syed Haider, and they are taking Suhail on. That's great shot there, long off for a 6.
Yeah, brilliant. Look at that, using his feet, playing it through the line. There was a man there, but no chance whatsoever. Although I think it sliced just a little bit off the bat. Didn't come perfectly from the middle. He's calling for something. Is that a bat he's calling for? If that is the case, or the gloves, I just don't know. I think he's taken permission from the umpire, but they are not ready. They are bringing him the gloves. Rais is calling for gloves here. And I think even Syed Haider Shah wanted something from the dugout, which he didn't get. Disappointed at that. Maybe a chocolate, just like Asghar does.
After hitting a 6, you can deserve that. Get your favorite chocolate, but Syed Haider, he will be looking to play a big knock, then have an ice cream late in the night.
Oh, poor delivery down the leg side. Way down the leg side. Good keeping on that one. I think it's wishful thinking. I think that's what you wish for yourself, rather than Syed Haider Shah asking for an ice cream. The Asghar special, the big ice cream.
Love it. That didn't help my fitness when I was playing.
Well, he certainly is very fit. He can break the table into 2, I can tell you that. And that is why I'm always a foot away from him.
So he's pretty much fit enough to play the game. That's why he's been so consistent. That was the arm ball going on with the arm. Suhail is predominantly skidding the ball onto the batsmen, trying to just cramp them.
Trying to cram them is a different story altogether, but I think he's a little too leg side-ish or a little too offside-ish, as this time it was way outside the off stump, right under the bat. Haider Shah is very strong on that, and he's quickly reached to 30 with that 4 coming in. What a good looking shot. That is the end of the over. 10 gone, 87 for 1. They are going at 8.7 runs per over.
It was an off-change pace delivery from Abu Bakr. This time he goes over the top, man coming around just over his head, and I think he's gone all the way for a 6.
And towards the longer part of the ground, mind you. If this was on the other side, it would have gone on the streets out there. Look at that. Beautiful. Got into position very quickly. Just tried to muscle that ball. Tried to hit it a little too hard. Maybe not from the middle of the bat. Still got enough on it to get half a dozen out of it. He's on 36. Reis has been playing since opening. He's on 40. Syed Haider Shah is going at 200 runs per 100 balls.
Great shot, that one. This time goes again over mid-off. This time another boundary.
Cracker of a shot. Possibly the shot of the day, right from the meat of the bat, and it went like a tracer bullet into the fence. Not great bowling. Too full. Very full. And Haider Shah feasts on this one.
Lot of pressure coming on Abu Bakr now. 6-4, 98 for 1. They're rollicking along, and Syed Haider is
versus Alif Farmer. 33 for the first wicket. And 74 now between Syed Haider Shah, who's the leader in this partnership, mind you, has overtaken Reis Ahmed now in terms of runs scored. 74 of just 42 deliveries. That's just 7 overs for 7.
Yeah, recognizing the moment that he needs to settle in, give as much strike possible to Syed Haider, who's on 46. And once again, up in the air, has he caught it? Just falls short of the man at backward point. Irfan Sajid coming in. He's a very fine leg spinner and getting the ball to turn a little bit.
Yeah, good ball. Very good ball. Still a little too full for me, if you ask me, and a very good effort on the backward point region. Good cricket overall. Sliced off the bat just a little bit this time around. Good ball again. Nice shot again. And good work. Very good work from Wasim Akram. Athletic. Although they have completed 2 there. But I think he got an awkward bounce and covered it well.
Yeah, good work coming in from Wasim Akram. This is an interesting battle, Fazan, because Irfan Sajid has the ability to bowl a very good wrong one, and Haider Shah very strong through the offside. If he doesn't pick him, he could be in trouble.
And he bats with a very thick bat. I've seen his bat. I've taken it in my hands. It's a very thick bat. It feels like a weapon you're carrying. It's that heavy. Thick edge. Big muscles on that young boy, mind you. Junaid Shamsuddin coming into bowl here. Good start of the over. Perfect length. I wanted a foot inside that line. It was just a little too wide on that first one, but I think the length was perfect.
Yeah, Junaid Shamsuddin is a useful cricketer. Power hitter with the bat. Can give you a few tight overs. Nice change of pace and sliced away pass point. He will definitely come back for the second, and that brings up his half century. That is one of the most meaningful half centuries in a big game.
Absolutely. And very flamboyant. Adnan used that word for me, but I think if there's one man flamboyant on the ground right now, that's Syed Haider Shah. Well, Adnan says, off the ground for me. I want to do that, by the way. Be off the ground when Haider is playing like that. Shamsu continues. Too short, too wide. Missed out on that one. Didn't bounce much, I believe.
But that was the off cutter. Change of pace. He will do a lot. Junaid Shamsuddin, know him for a long time. He likes to mix things up. And sometimes he can surprise you with that quick delivery as well. Strong shoulders. When he bends his back, can get the ball through as well.
This time it's up in the air. And it lands in no man's land, goes to the boundary for another four. It's raining fours for Syed Haider Shah here.
Again, putting the pressure on Shamsuddin, using his feet. There was enough width and he slashed it over backward point for another boundary. They got to do something about Haider because he's really taking the game on.
Wasn't a great delivery again. I think they're checking for it now, because it was very close to the boundary ropes. My first impression was that it had bounced just before the boundary ropes. They're still checking for it, I believe. The game has stopped. The umpires are talking to the third umpire on comms. Yeah, certainly checking for it. Those 2 runs will be very, very important. What a flying start for 7 districts. And this is why it is very important, Asghar, in a game like this. Look at that again. And I think just short. Few inches short of the boundary ropes there. So yeah, I still have a good eyesight, I reckon. It is very important in a game like this to play the new ball well. You need to take your time. And that is why I love the Sharjah wickets that they have produced in this season. It gives you a competition between the ball and the bat. They're still looking at it. The umpire is not convinced. To my eye, that seems like a 4. Still, the umpire's call is the last call. I think they've given it a 4. Downtown this time, long off, too far. Only a single again. That is the reason why, Asghar, I love these wickets that Sharjah has produced.
Meanwhile, Rais is closing down on his milestone as well of 50 runs. That's smart batting. It's ensuring that they have enough wickets in hand as well going into the last 5-6 overs.
Dancing down, hitting it straight, and nicely done. One bounce into the fence. It's still raining fours here. And even Irfan Sajid, who's been bowling pretty well, cannot stop the flow of runs.
Look at that. That was a googly coming in. Spotted very early by Haider Shah. Stepped down, got it on the full and just smashed it to the safest area of the ground. Picks up a boundary for himself. Look at that strike rate. 230. Ball 60 runs. It's another googly coming in. Well read, but it was just off the inside half of the bat. Will fetch him a single though. So he quickly moves on to 61 of 31. And Alif Farmer in a spot of bother here.
31. the shots in the book. He started attacking in the last 3-4 overs. Got a lot of runs through the offside, couple of sixes, good looking fours. That one was crashed through the offside for his 50. Wonderfully well done, especially coming back after an injury. He had a hairline fracture in his hand, and it took quite a bit of time actually sitting in the dugout. Not very helpful for you when you're in.
Smaller boundaries on one side of the wicket, you would be certainly looking to capitalize on it. However, it's the Syed, Haider, Shah show until now. Reis gave him good partnership from the other end. Look at that. He's been pretty strong on the offside. He's not let any bad balls go for singles or doubles. He's made sure he's hit them for fours and sixes. Look at that strike rate, 61 of 32 deliveries, Faizan.
Yeah, brilliant. We've been talking about the fact how difficult the wickets have been. When I mentioned a point, I'm going to talk to you about that. Nicely bowled. He saw him coming down, pulled the length back. Very nicely bowled. Not happy, Haider Wasisha. He wanted to hit it through the covers once again. I mentioned a point, and I was talking to Hamad right after the presentation last night about the same, and he was on the same page as well. When I said to him, is it so that the batters look at this wicket and they get a little too scared looking at the wicket before going out to play there? Because that plays on your mind sometimes. Oh, that's a good ball again. Oh, thought about it long and hard. Gave it a wide eventually. Doesn't go there.
Yeah, that was very close actually. I thought initially he got away with it, but umpire making the right decision in the end. It was quite wide. Haider Shah's eyes lit up there for a second. But again, coming back to the point you're mentioning, I'm eagerly waiting to hear what was Hamad's response.
Yeah, another dot delivery here. Good bowling this from Junaid Shamsu. So Hamad agreed on that. Hamad said it isn't playing as bad as it looks. That is what he said to me in the presentation officially on the mic. So I have been saying that right from the word go, that when I joined this tournament. And I think, sometimes you just get too scared looking at the conditions rather than going out there and plays on your mind as a batter, and sometimes you become a little too cautious of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a double-edged sword, I would say. The bowlers as well, when they tend to look at such pitches, they start bowling short. The short boundary for a six. So welcome six there for 7 districts. And Haider Shah, he moves on to 67 of just 35 deliveries, looking very dangerous here.
Yeah, this was an overcompensated delivery because he bowled 2 outside the off stump. Both of them were given wides. He wanted to bowl in the stumps. This has been picked up. The umpires were checking for it. It was clearly a 6. What a way to end the over. Haider Shah is looking very dangerous. 137 for 2 now after 15.
To look at the conditions in the middle, Rizan Khan is there with the pitcher.
Like before the wicket appeal from him as well. This time makes room. Well played Uzairman. Into the gap.
That's the bowling summary for you so far. It was good start by Wasim Akram. Bowled 3 overs, gave away just 18 runs, picked up the important wicket of Mohammad Irfan. Well picked up by Haider Shah and deposits it over, bowling from that end. As well. This time well picked up by Haider Shah and deposits it over, bowling from that end.
A little too full. Ghaffar.
Picked up by Haider Shah and deposits it over, bowling from that end.
A little too full. Ghaffar. That is exactly what I wanted to say.
And That's up in the air again as well. It's going towards the cover, and this time no mistake from Irfan. So Hafiz Almas look at that. Good ball.
First rush shot of the innings for Rais.
He was licking his lips on the other side. He wanted to make use of the shorter boundary on the leg side. Shuffles across. This time well picked up by Haider Wasisha and deposits it over, bowling from that end.
A little too full.
Stolen. That's up in the air again as well. It's going towards the cover, and this time no mistake from Irfan. So half negative deliveries. This time a full toss, and Haider Wasisha completely misses the line of the delivery and has to go back. So third time he would call it Alif Fama.